All right, to the West Coast, where the 2-8 Lakers face the 6-5 Clippers, but the Lakers are 0-8 in their last 8 jumps with the squad that shares the building they play in. LeBron James early squares up from 3, and then James again off to a perfect start. He hit his first 6, second longest to start a game since he joined the Lakers. Paul George would have an answer. He's been warm of late. He buries the 3, and then beautiful spin around Russell Westbrook. George led all scorers with 15 in the first quarter. Clippers led big by 17. Marcus Morris steps into that 3, buries it. Clippers up 11. Late third, John Wall. Beautiful pass to a cutting George, and the lead is a dozen. Midway through the fourth, as if the Lakers don't have enough issues, James posting up George, fouled on the play. But something bothered James on the landing. He was grimacing and would head to the tunnel, walk to the locker room. He would leave with leg soreness and did not return. Just over a minute to go, Clippers up 8. Norman Powell with the flush.
Pretty damn cool. Wow!
Paul George with Malika Andrews.
PG, it seems like every time the Lakers made a run in this game, you all were able to find an answer. How did you find that resolve over and over?
We just kept coming. We just kept attacking. We stayed in that attack mindset. I thought both units did a great job. They got mismatch problems that I thought we did a great job of covering for one another. And, we just made shots. We kept applying pressure.
You have now scored 25-plus points per game in your last 6 straight games. What have you found that's working in this stretch?
I just stayed in attack, just constant pressure. That's all I want to do is just put constant pressure on. I'm in a good groove. Nothing more to say than, I just believe in my work. I've done a ton of work this summer leading into this. I feel great. My body is at a whole nother level right now, and it's really just propelling me through these games.
We look forward to Tim Legler, and I think that the Lakers' lane's pretty well established. What they are, what they're not, and I don't know what's going to change. So rather than belabor that point, it's the first chance to talk Clippers. And I feel like if you get an incomplete in school, right, because it's hard to know what the grade should be. And with Kawhi injured, hard to know what they look like. Mark Jackson said on the broadcast, they get healthy, they're dangerous. What's your sense of what could be for this Clipper group?
Well, I hope this doesn't happen, but let's just make an assumption. And let's just say Kawhi Leonard misses most of the year or doesn't play. Even if that were to happen, I think this is a team that could win 43 to 45 games, which is going to put you somewhere in that 6-8 spot probably in the Western Conference. And the reason is because they have a bona fide superstar offensive focal point in Paul George. And then a bunch of dudes that fill their lane, veteran guys that fill a very specific need when they step on the court. And then there's another factor here. There's a tremendous amount of respect for their head coach. And that can buy you a lot of cachet in this league. And these guys feel it for Ty Lue, and that's going to get them through some of these moments. Now, listen, if Kawhi Leonard does come back and play a sustained stretch, then you're talking about a team that actually is in the mix to contend in the West and maybe represent the West in the finals if he can have a 2-3 month stretch of health prior to the playoffs. But who knows? I mean, it's been so long since we've seen that. I can't even begin to guess when Kawhi Leonard's going to play.
I think that's something we all root for. It's just he's had such bad injury luck. You just hope he could get healthy just so we could see. Now, I never in a billion years thought I would say, we got to talk to Tim about the Utah Jazz. But they've gone from me making jokes about what's going on in Utah and doing the Windhorse bit to we need to talk about them as whatever they really are. This is a 10-win team. They go on the road against a good Atlanta team, build a lead, take it on the chin, and then absorb the run and end up winning. What are we talking about with Utah?
Every year going into the season, I can predict there's probably half dozen teams I will not be doing a touchscreen with you on.
Yeah.
And I thought Utah would be in that mix as well. Here's what's become special with this group, because it's not just the record. You start to watch them, and now you watch a couple of things that stand out to you right away. And the first thing is, this team is the loosest team in the league. Everybody is relaxing in the comfort zone. Will Hardy obviously has great command of the situation. He's empowered these guys to play. But we're showing some clips from tonight that kind of buys into what I'm talking about. Just throw it ahead, just stop and pop. Everybody feels empowered to take whatever shot is in their wheelhouse. This part right here, they move it. We're going to talk more about marketing in a second because he's turned into something special. And then you get a little bit of defense mixed in there as well, push it the other way. And all these guys we're watching right here, Scott. By the way, that could have been 2 different layups on that. Instead, let's go to curtain number 3 and kick it out for a 3-pointer in the corner of Clarkson. And then they close the game. The thing that was impressive about this one, you got a bunch of dudes that are there in their first year. 7 of their 10 rotational players are in their first season in Utah. 7 of the 10 guys that play. They got hit with a gut punch tonight in Atlanta in the third quarter. Go down double digits, and you think, okay, Atlanta's going to get this. Utah comes out, dominates in the fourth quarter, gets another win. 8 out of 13 on the road so far, and they have more wins than any team in the Western Conference. They're fun to watch, and they got a bunch of guys that had runs in other places, and now they've come together here in this special moment when a lot of people were counting them down, and they're enjoying this being overlooked, and they're enjoying where they are. Is it sustainable to lead the West all year? Probably not.
Right.
But this is more than just a team off to a good start. They're very, very hard to defend.
You talk about a league pass team, right? Team you want to watch. Watch this team play. They're going to score. They score $118 a night coming into this one, and like you just said, they absorb the run and win. And you mentioned Markkanen. And this is a guy, since he came out of Arizona, people thought he could really be nice. And he's been a double-digit scorer. But you said something's different this year. What's different?
Yeah, when he came out, I really liked him because he had a shooting stroke, and I always thought he had a little bit of toughness in the paint. He wasn't afraid to mix it up for a guy that could step out and shoot the ball as a big. He's added so many things to his game. This one right here, the show and the go, the slow down Euro, and then finish with that kind of patience around the rim. It's just a big-time offensive move. Now they're running him off down screens to get his feet set behind the three-point line. And when he gets it, he's 7 feet tall, can release it. He's got athletic ability. This one didn't count, but I wanted it in there anyway because that's some boom right there at the rim. Again, here in transition, Mike Conley's always finding him. Conley gives him great stability at the position. This is late when you got to close it out. And that's a 28-footer off a pick and pop and no hesitation. And then I threw this one in there as well because this is what I liked about him early on in his career. He'd go down there offensive rebound and put some touch and put the ball back in the basket. 30-plus tonight. He's averaging 22 on the season. He's shooting over 50% from the field, taking more than 6 threes a game. That's very special company in this league with guys that are household names. So that's the kind of year he's having. He's a bona fide, turning into a bona fide star offensive player now at 25 years old.
That's the word I just wrote down. We're very casual with that word,
Yes.
and there are layers to them.
So I stopped myself. So I said turning into. He's not quite there yet. But he's on his way.
You do this, then you belong on one of those tiers that we talk about of the stars. The very best, no, but I mean, there's a reason they're winning these games, and he's a big part of it. We talked about the Utah Jazz. I did not.
I think we're going to keep talking about it.
Good. I coach for the Nets. And that had many people wondering how a team with so many other issues at the moment was going to hire a coach currently suspended for the year by his current employers, the Boston Celtics. How did anyone think that introductory presser was going to go? As it turns out, it's not going to go. Jacques Vaughn, no longer the interim coach. He's got a deal through the 23-24 season. Here's Jacques pregame on being given the full-time gig by the Nets.
I guess I was the the write-in candidate in the minds of elections right now, but I'm okay with that. I said to my wife, I might have not been her first choice, and we've been together 20 years, so it could all work out. So off we go.
Right on. Make it count. Vaughn now knows he can get comfortable in that seat. First quarter, all Kevin Durant. Dishes to Royce O'Neal. Dishes to Edmund Sumner. And then Durant gets the friendly roll there. He scored or assisted on 26 of the 38 net points in the first quarter, and they lead the crosstown Knicks by 16. Durant, you can take those two with you, picking right up where he left off. Under a minute to go in the half, Nets up 22. Ben Simmons pokes it away from Julius Randle. Woo, woo, woo! Joe Harris, knocked down 3. 9 assists in the first half for Durant, ties a career high for the most assists in any half. Nets cruising. Durant hits Nick Claxton. Claxton, 3 the hard way. And Durant would finish his 5th triple-double with the Nets, which is tied for the 3rd most in franchise history. Durant off the miss from 3. Simmons there with the putback slam. Nets continue to lead by 20+. Then Seth Curry Simmons, right back to you. You're all alone and you're a great shooter. Yes, I am. 23 in the game for Curry. Nets win big. Their first wire-to-wire win this season and their first for their now permanent head coach. Here's what it looked like in the locker room.
That's a win right there. Great job. Great job. Tomorrow's off. Then we get on the road. Ready to win. Ready to win.
The interim tag is gone. Head coach first win. Congratulations. I was excited for him. I know the work that he puts in every day. I know how much he cares about the development of each player and his team as a whole. And looking forward to playing for him. You know, all the guys have responded to how he wants us to play. And, so I'm looking forward to, how we progress after this.
The Nets improved to 28-14 over the past 2 seasons when Durant is in the lineup and Kyrie is out. KD averaged just under 30 a game in those contests. For perspective, that .667 winning percentage just with Durant is higher than their .520 winning percentage when both